I have the new Natasha Denona Xenon palette to play with today. Hello and welcome if you are new here. My name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I am going to be doing 2 looks with the new Natasha Denona Xenon palette. I'm going to give you my thoughts at the end. This is not a review. These are just kind of my first impression thoughts. Let's dive into this because I have some thoughts already. So this is the Natasha Denona Xenon eyeshadow palette. It is one of her midi size palettes, so it does retail for $69. At this moment, it is available on her website as well as at Sephora and at Ulta. I think originally people were mistakenly reading that it was only going to be available at Ulta and Natasha Denona website, but I do see it on the Sephora website. So this might be something that you might want to pick up during the sale if you get a good discount. But the packaging is plastic and it has like embedded glitter particles in there, which is giving like night sky vibes. And when I saw this with the name and the night sky, it automatically made me think of Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. If you know, you know. My supernova girl. And then on the inside, this is what it looks like. It is a very grayscale palette. It looks like a picture of a palette that was taken and put into black and white, in my opinion. And it's interesting because looking at it in person, I thought this shade Snowbow, it looks pink online, but it is not pink in person. It's definitely not pink in person. So she says that this is a color extension to the fans' all-time favorite mini Xenon palette. I unfortunately don't have the mini Xenon palette, so I can't really compare. It showcases a captivating array of vivid grays, sparkling silvers, calming cool tone nudes, and icy pink, and multi-dimensional sparkling and metallic blacks. These shades can be effortlessly blended into everyday looks or used to create Natasha's classic dramatic smoky eyes. With ultra-pigmented, silky soft, easy-to-use formulas, it becomes the ultimate festive season staple, delivering mesmerizing options for holiday party looks. They do a great job with copyright, with palettes nowadays. So there are several different formulas in here. Matte, metallic, sparkling, foiled, and wet effect formulas. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a cream to powder in here. The shade Sposh right here, at least it feels that way. Let's see. Yes, it is a cream to powder, which I don't like cream to powder formula from Natasha Denona personally. So one thing I will tell you right off the bat, just looking at this, is there are not a lot of mattes in this palette. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 true mattes, and they're all pretty light. So Blizzard, Contrail, Snert, and Flurry, the weirdest names. And all the rest of these are either metallics, cream to powders, or those new like wet effect shades. I will say that the actual like different shimmer options in here are really pretty. They swatched really pretty. I did swatch the palette already just because I wanted to get an idea. But me as a matte girl, I'm definitely gonna have to pull another palette. Like, obviously I will try not to for this video, but for general use, like I definitely want more mattes than just 4 light mattes. And the other thing I wanted to do is compare this to the Glamlight Ghost Face palette because they were giving me similar vibes.
A few moments later.
So here are the 2 palettes next to each other. Yeah, like you can see, they're pretty similar-ish in sense of like general color story. I would say the Ghostface one definitely has more blue undertones and it has way more mattes. So automatically I am more drawn to the Ghostface palette. If you picked this one up, do you need this one? I don't know. That's your call. That's your call. But I will say they're pretty close, you know, in the same family. Let's put it that way. I did purchase this myself. I actually bought it on the Natasha Denona website and it came very quickly. I was very surprised, like the shipping was very fast. I don't think I've ever ordered from Natasha Denona's website before. This was my first time, so had a good experience with that. But you'll have to let me know, did you pick this up? Did you skip on it? What are your thoughts? I would really love to know your thoughts. All right, and now we're gonna go on to look number 1. I have already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is gonna be a little tricky for how I usually do my makeup, like I said, because I'm just used to having like different layers of depth with the matte shadows, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work today. I'm gonna go in with the shade Snert, Snert, Snert. I'm gonna put it on a Blend Bunny blending brush. That was really hard to say. And I'm just gonna basically pack this into my crease. Okay, so that worked really nice as a mid-tone gray. I mean, grays aren't always my favorite colors in the world, but That one performed really nicely, like the good Natasha Denona quality I expect. I'm gonna go in with another Blend Bunny brush, and I'm gonna go into the cream to powder, which isn't my favorite, Sposh, which is a black, or I think it's described as like a charcoal. It's not quite black. When I swatched it, I could tell. And I'm just gonna push this in my outer corner. The reason I don't love her cream to powder formula is that it tends to crease on me pretty badly. All right, as much as I'm hating on the cream to powder formula, that one did apply pretty nicely. I already put the NYX glitter primer all over my lid, and now I'm gonna go in with the shade Grayu. It is like this gunmetal metallic, and it's described as sparkling metallic iron gray. And I'm just gonna place this all over my lid. That is really pretty. That is really pretty. Now I want to play with this pink shade, which in my opinion is not pink. I mean, it does have like a certain pink flip to it, the shade Snowbow. I'm gonna pick it up. Let me swatch it on my hand so you can see it. It definitely has a translucent base. It's very pretty, like you can see, but it is more of like a, I would say, a topper shade. The description is crystal sparkling pink with multicolored specks. I guess it is pink if I hold it a certain way. It's like a duochrome shade. It is pretty. What I want to do is I want to top this metallic shade with that shade. And let's see what it does. Add a little something. Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
I'm back. Let's finish up the lower lash line together. Everything I have on my face in both looks, I almost said everything I have on both faces. That doesn't make sense. Everything I'm wearing in both looks will be in the description box, but let's continue. I'm gonna go in with that cream to powder Sposh on a flat definer brush, and I'm gonna push that up against my lower lash line. I'm actually gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna go into Night Sky, which is a metallic black, and I'm gonna put that kind of on top, more towards the inner part. And I'm actually gonna spray it just because I don't want fallout. That's not really like the shiniest metallic, but it added some darkness to my lower lash line, which is good. I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Snert, and I'm gonna blend that out. I'm gonna go in my waterline with the Milk Infinity Longwear eyeliner in the shade Outer Space. We're just keeping the 90s vibe going with the black eyeliner. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go into the shade Contrail, like this matte white. All right, and this is finished look number 1. What do you think? I actually love how it came out. I think it came out so pretty. I'm not a cool tone girl, but this is giving me 90s. Like Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again 90s. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, my first impression is I definitely would prefer more mattes right off the bat. But I was thinking about it as I was doing my makeup. This is supposed to be an extension of the Mini Xenon, and the Mini Xenon has a matte black, right? And does it have other mattes? I think it does. Because I definitely feel like a matte black is missing from this, but if you have the Mini Xenon, I get why it's not in here, but I also feel like at the same time, I don't feel like you should have to have the Mini Xenon to get that matte black. I'm just thinking out loud here. But all in all, I really enjoy how this look came out. So now I'm gonna send you off to look number 2. All right, we're gonna do another look with the Xenon palette today. I think I'm gonna do a halo eye. That's my plan. I'm gonna start off with the shade Blizzard, and I'm gonna put this through my crease. Let's see how it looks. It looks a little light, but we'll see. That's very light, actually. Okay, so that shade is very light. It's definitely a gray with a blue undertone. All right, I'm gonna go in with the shade Snert, my favorite shade name, and I'm gonna put this in my inner and outer corner. And now I'm gonna go in with the cream to powder shade Sposh. I'm gonna put that in the inner and outer corner as well, but keep it a little bit lower. All right, I put the NYX glitter primer just in the center of my eyelid where the blank space is. I'm gonna go in with the shade Ebb right here. And I'm gonna put this not in the entire inner section, but like on the inner and outer part of the middle section. And this one has more of a blue undertone as well. I'm gonna go over that with my finger. I'm gonna go in with the shade Rhyme right here and just put that in the center. And then I'm gonna top it with the shade Stellar, which looks like one of those wet effect shades. It's very, very sparkly. That is so pretty. All right, let's finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with an angled brush. I'm gonna go into that cream to powder shade Sposh. I'm gonna put it on the lower lash line in the inner and outer corner because I'm planning on haloing the bottom as well. All right, next I'm gonna go into the shade Snert and just blend that out. And now I'm gonna mix Snert and Blizzard on a fluffy brush and blend that out. All right, in the blank space I left on my lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with the shade Rhyme on a little tiny pencil brush, and I am gonna spray the brush. And I'm gonna go on top of that with that sparkly shade Stellar. And I'm gonna go into that shade Rhyme and put it into my inner corner. All right, and this is finished look number 2. What do you think? I think it came out really pretty. I really love the shimmers in the center of the lid and on the center of the bottom lid. Really pretty. Okay, so let me give you my initial thoughts on this palette. Obviously, going into purchasing the palette, I saw that it was monochromatic. I saw that there wasn't a lot of variety. I mean, in the pictures, it was very obvious, although I will say I did think that this is gonna be a little more pink, but it's just one shade out of the whole palette. And I didn't really do as much close digging as maybe I should have. And I didn't realize that there were only 4 mattes in the palette, and all 4 mattes are pretty light to mid-tone. With that being said, I do actually really enjoy this cream to powder. I'm happy it's there to deepen up a look. And I'm probably more going to use this like a companion palette, pull in other palettes. That's probably how I'll choose to use it. I think the shimmers in this are really pretty, very stepped up. There's different textures of shimmers, which I always love. There's different depths of shimmer, which is really nice. But all of the shimmers in this are in the silver, gray, white family. Even this one that is pink, it's a duochrome, so like it's only pink on a certain shift, if that makes sense. And also, there are slight differences in undertones with some of these shades. I don't really see them just looking at the pans. And I was talking to Angelica Nyqvist yesterday, and she was telling me that, yeah, like Natasha said that there are different undertones, blue, pink undertones, but like I didn't really notice it until Angelica said something, and then I can look at my eye look and be like, oh yeah, I guess there is kind of a blue undertone to that. But if she hadn't said anything and I was going into this blind, which I was at first, I really wouldn't see much undertone difference. It's very monochromatic, very, very, very monochromatic. So like if you like this type of a look, I think you would enjoy this palette. But it's definitely not my favorite Natasha Denona palette. I do enjoy the shimmer formulas, the different textures. I think they're really pretty, and I will use this more as a companion palette. And that's kind of my thought on this. Now, I'm gonna continue using this palette. I have to use it more than twice. I didn't use all the shades in the palette, so I really wanna get more familiarity with it before I give you like my final review, but those are just kind of my first impressions. And now, of course, I wanna hear from you. Did you pick this palette up? Did you skip on it? What are your thoughts on it? I would really love to know because I love hearing from you. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly and I'd love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.